Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, and I have got a whole bunch of unused vegetables that need to be used. So, being Sunday and it's brunch day, I'm going to make a very veggie quiche. And I had a pie crust in my freezer. I have some tomatoes, I have some asparagus, I have some corn, I have some spinach. What else? Some scallions. And we're going to put all those into an egg and milk mixture. I use half and half, and we're gonna make a quiche out of it, and it's gonna be fabulous. You know, back in the day when I worked at Foodies, we used to sell quiches a lot. It was kind of one of my famous things, especially Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve we would sell over 100 quiches because people had company, and that was an easy breakfast for the next day. And and I always found that quiches were a good way to utilize leftovers or things that you had on hand. And my face is swollen. I was out in the garden. I got bit by something. So anyway, we're gonna make it, and it's gonna be delicious. And happy Sunday morning. We're gonna begin our quiche with some baby spinach leaves in the bottom. The rest of the vegetables that I put in will weigh this down so the spinach doesn't, sometimes the spinach tends to float to the top. And the next thing we're gonna do is add some corn off the cob. By the way, as you know, probably, if you figured out, all these vegetables come from Misfits Market, and I'm expecting a new box tomorrow, so that's why I have to use this stuff up. But, you know, when you cut corn off the cob, you wanna do it in a shallow container, and guess what? Pie crust works. Okay, this is all gonna be mixed in with the eggs and stuff too, but I'm going for kind of a color contrast. So next thing we're gonna put on is these are some Roma tomatoes, diced, and those are going to add some nice flavor to our quiche. I don't have to use them all. Spread them out good. Next we have some asparagus that I steamed in the microwave, and that's going on next. And you're probably wondering, where are we going to fit the eggs with all these vegetables in here? But it's going to work. Okay, we got one more thing. I had some scallions that needed to be used. Those are going on. Now we're going to season our quiche with some salt and pepper. Some people mix this in with the egg mixture, but when you do that, it floats to the bottom and doesn't season evenly, so I like to season the vegetables. And then my secret for quiche is a little touch of nutmeg, just enough to make who's ever eating it going, whoa, what's that? So we're going to sprinkle on a little nutmeg, just a little bit. And now comes our cheese. This is shredded Swiss cheese. And some people call quiche a cheese pie. My ratio for quiche is 1 egg for every half cup of half and half. So I'm gonna do 4 eggs because obviously there's not much room in our quiche. And we're gonna beat it together, and we're gonna add it in. Okay, our 4 eggs are in the bowl. We're gonna beat them up. Okay, eggs are beaten, and there's 4 eggs, so that's 2 cups of half and half, and a pint just happens to be 2 cups, so we don't have to measure. We're just gonna add it in and mix it up. And if I have any of this mixture left over, this ratio is the same one that I use for Yorkshire pudding. So if I wanted to make myself a little taste of Yorkshire, all I had to do is add a little extra flour, and we're gonna mix this up real well. Okay, I've placed the quiche on a baking sheet because it's probably gonna leak a little when we cook it. And speaking of cooking it, I'm preheating the oven to 300 degrees. Your quiche wants to be low and slow. And it's hard for me to transfer my baking temperatures to a standard oven because I was always used to using convection ovens in commercial kitchens. But anyway, we're gonna pour this. You can see my mixing bowl has a nice little lip that I can pour this out of. So we're gonna pour it in. Because this is so full, we're gonna do a tiny bit at a time all the way around. Okay, our half and half and egg mixture has reached the top. I'm gonna press this just a little bit to incorporate the cheese and get all that stuff in there. And this is a full baby, so we'll see how it comes out. It's going in the oven for, it's probably gonna take 30 to 40 minutes to bake, but we're gonna have a look at it when it comes out, and then we're gonna take a bite. Our quiche is out of the oven. It is browned and puffy and beautiful. And the way to tell if the quiche is done is you give it a shake. And if it wiggles, you know, a little bit, that's okay. But you want no wiggles. So you want to just give it a shake and see if it's done. Or you can insert a knife and see if it's done that way. So we have to let this rest for a little while, and the puff is going to go down before we cut our quiche, but that's how beautiful it is when it first comes out. I'm not sure if this is ready to come out yet, but I'm hungry. And this was supposed to be my Sunday brunch. Whoops. Not. Okay. Quiche is actually cut better when they're cold, so. But here we have our very veggie quiche. Vegetable-y, eggy, custardy, and it's gonna be delicious. Thank you for joining me for Sunday brunch playtime. We're about to take a bite of our quiche. It looks really good. It's steaming hot and going in.